good day, good evening, and good afternoon, depending on where you're hearing this episode. My name is Wardy Ward, and I'm your tour guide on this educational self-help episode of What's Up with Ward TV. Our motto on the show is everybody has a story to tell, but we just want to know what's yours. On the show, we discuss everything from love, life, relationships, and everything in between. We firmly believe that a stranger is just a friend you haven't spoken with yet. And if you could do me a small favor, please hit that like and subscribe button or comment button below, please. This will not only help you to find new episodes, but also previous episodes you can come back and visit as well. Well, today I'm super excited on the show because my guest is a man on a mission to make a difference by using his talents and a warm smile every chance he gets. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Lionel Hills to the show. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good,
You?
good, good. You know what? I'm doing all right. No complaints today.
Wonderful,
So
wonderful.
yeah, but you know, we both in Indianapolis here, so this weather is crazy. It's like one day is summer, and then next day is
Yeah,
winter.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
You never know.
Yeah. All right, so let's just get into this. I want to know a little bit about you before we talk about, well, the main reason I got you is because of the bike riding. What definitely want to get in that, but let's get a little background on you first. Can you tell me where you spent your childhood years and where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in a town in Louisiana.
Okay.
It's a small town, right below New Orleans,
Hmm.
about an hour away from New Orleans, called Thibodeau.
Thibodeau.
It's a French name spelled Thiboudaux.
Thibodeau. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you weren't down there when that flood happened, were you? Katrina and all
Uh,
that?
no, no, no.
Okay.
I was not there, but uh, my one of my aunts, her house was damaged
Hmm.
by it, but no, I was not there.
Okay. Glad you weren't there. And hopefully your relative is doing better now. That was a while ago, but it doesn't seem that long ago.
They redid her house, FEMA.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good.
Yes.
Good. Now, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have a sister who's about to turn 70 on
Hmm.
the 20th of this month. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother.
Okay. All
I
right.
had another brother that we lost back in 1973. He was 16 years old
Hmm.
and he quit school, joined the Job Corps. And 3 days after he left, we got a telegram
Uh-huh.
saying that he drowned.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Three
And
days that quick?
that quit.
What happened?
We don't know because he went to Cobra, Colorado.
Hmm.
Don't forget the place. And that's all we heard through that telegram was he died. And then they shipped his body back to Thibodeau, and we had the funeral, buried him, and everything. And we heard nothing else of it.
Oh man, that's one of them unsolved mysteries.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, again, I'm sorry that happened to you, but
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thanks.
Well, let me keep a lighter note here. Let me switch my glasses because we get a lot of glare here. But what are your favorite childhood memories? What did you like about living down there in Thibodeau?
I liked, I didn't like the weather in the summertime, for one.
Really, what was it like down there?
Humid.
Hmm.
And at night, you could not sit down. My mother had a house with a swing on the porch.
Yeah.
And as long as you're swinging, you were good. But once you stop, you hitting yourself, hitting those mosquitoes.
Hmm.
They bite.
Yeah.
Uh, but my favorite childhood memories is just the fact that everybody knew everybody.
Right. Right.
I was pretty well known in my neighborhood. and around the city and so forth and so on. And I like that, having friends to visit with and have fun with, ride
Hmm.
our bicycles. Now, I think I learned how to do what I do now
Yeah.
then, but didn't
Okay.
think much of it. You know, as
Right.
kids, we gonna do some crazy things and laugh about it and then go on with our lives.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
So how far did you get as far as education wise?
I graduated from Thibodeau High School,
Okay.
and it wasn't a whole lot to do for teenagers like myself. And so I took high school ROTC
Hmm.
for 3 years, and would go to Army Reserve meetings in high school
Okay.
because of ROTC. So I already knew I was going to join the Army. But
Hmm.
what happened was one of my uncles, he was in the reserve.
Okay.
And I saw a recruiter come to his door, and I said, I want to join the Army. I want to join the Army.
Yeah.
And so taking, being in the reserve, going to the drills, I saw this guy typing. And I said, I would love to do that. And he showed me a little bit about it, how you got to put your finger on the home rule keys and
Right.
everything.
Right.
And that's what I ended up taking to become a clerk typist or administrative specialist.
Okay.
And that's what I was in the Army.
How long were you in the Army?
I was in 6 years, four active and two inactive.
So
And
so
that
your
was good
MOS
time.
was you were a typing specialist for your MOS?
Yes, and I type. That's what I do every day now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. But yeah, because
Yeah.
I that helps me understand. Oh, good, good. Well, since you started out in this Louisiana and Thibodeau and down there, how did you end all the way up in Indiana?
Well, my first duty station was Fort Ord, California.
Okay.
I did a year and a half there. Then I signed up for Hawaii,
Ooh,
but they ended
nice.
up sending me to Korea.
Wait a minute, you wanted to go to Hawaii and they sent you to Korea?
Yes,
How did what did the disconnect come from? How did that happen?
I have no idea. That's what I signed. I wondered that too. When
Dang.
I got my orders to go, I said, I put in for Hawaii. Why are they giving me Korea?
Yeah.
What could I do about it?
Right.
And so I was supposed to take leave for a month. I did not go home. I went straight to Korea
Hmm.
so that I could come back to the States a month early.
Oh,
And
that was
that's
smart.
how it happened. And then I ended up in Yuma Proving Ground in Arizona.
Okay.
And then um, says this is my second marriage. We came, my wife now, we came to Indiana for a what they call what's the name of?
Circus of the Classic, these
No, it was a church function,
oh, okay,
and,
okay.
and it was yearly. So we came here in June,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how the weather here
Nice.
is in June is nice. And then
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Hey, babe, we ought to move here. I would like
Yeah.
to move here." And then November 11th, we were here,
Mm, that was
moving
quick.
here, but we had some friends here, so it was cool that we ended up staying with. And then they moved and got a house and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this was back in 2002 that we moved here. And when we got here, it was snowing.
Oh man.
I said, "Oh man, why did I move here? Why did we move here?" I was kind of
Right.
sorry we moved here, but this is something that you can only adjust to
Oh yeah, get that
and
right.
not get used to
Mm-hmm.
because it comes every year.
On time, every time.
And that's how we ended up here.
Okay. Well, that's a nice journey. I know that snow was a switch for people because if you're coming from the southern warm states,
Yes.
like you said, you just got to adapt to it. So, Well, you've been there 22 years now, or 23 years. Are you adapted to it? Snow is your friend now?
No,
You still ain't liking it, huh?
no. And the only thing I don't like about Indiana is that the winters are long.
Yeah, yeah.
Like right now, today, it's cold outside
It definitely is cold.
and it's
But
April.
but it's getting better. They're not as bad as they have been because you never know.
That
It could be a good one, it could be bad. You don't know.
fluctuates, yes.
Absolutely. Now you said you were a typist in the service. What type of work are you currently doing now if you're still working?
I am still working. I am a Medicare claims processor,
Okay.
and the providers send in their claims, and we have a system that the claims go through
Yes.
and is uploaded to our system, and then we process those claims.
Oh, okay.
We have edits and audits to tell us exactly what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we can either pay the providers for their services or we can deny their claims
Mm.
according to the specific audits that we have and um, like SOPs and so forth and so on will tell us exactly what to do.
Okay.
And we get audited on what we do randomly.
Uh-huh.
Thank God, uh, being there almost 19 years,
Ooh, 19. You're a veteran.
on my 19th year actually. And I have 19 years in November. And I
Okay.
think I've been doing pretty well because it's pretty repetitious
Okay.
from week to week. And it kind of switches from week to week. I might do um, 5 types of claims this week. Then might have 3. And we even audit
Mm-hmm.
each other's work. So if you
Right.
were working with me in my department and I get a claim that you once worked and it went through the system and now I have it and I
Mm-hmm.
find the error on that claim, I can give you that error.
Oh.
They're called internal errors. And plus
I
we
see.
have auditors. That's what they do. That's their
Mm-hmm.
job to randomly go behind us, pick out claims, audit them, and
Mm-hmm.
then they send us an email and we find out why we got the error and we have to correct it and so forth.
That makes sense. Yeah. So how did you get into that line of work? What led to you being a rep?
I kind of did it in Tucson, Arizona before we left there.
Okay.
And I did a certain part of the claim.
Okay.
I did the top at one point and the bottom at another point. And right before they started doing what I'm doing now, we left and we moved. So I didn't get an opportunity. So when we first got here for the first year, uh, I was doing temporary work. And then finally I got this interview and I already know it was temp to hire.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew that I was going to be hired
You
before
knew
they
that. That's right. Confidence. Yeah.
knew it and been there ever since.
Still together. Look at you. All right. You like that. So it sounds like you're good at it and you like it. Those are some good qualities.
Yes, yes.
Especially working.
I love what I do because I love to type.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just awesome. And I can think back of when I first learned. We didn't learn on a computer. They
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
have them back then, back in
Right.
1979,
Right. No internet, nothing.
nothing. And we had the old-fashioned typewriters where
Yeah.
it had the
That thing and ching. Yeah.
yeah, people are typing. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
learned on. And when I took the first typing test, I typed 6 words a minute,
6.
6.
Wow.
And the instructor had this big old keyboard
Uh-huh.
that lights up when she would hit the keys, it would
Yeah.
light up. And By the time I was done with school, I was at 35 words.
Look at it. Okay, good, good. I was worried about that 6.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let me keep going on because I want to get to the bike. How you became this bike rider. But first, now you mentioned you were married. How long were you married the first time?
16 and a half years.
Okay, and how long this current time?
20.
Wow. So I thought, wait a minute. I'm thinking you like 35, 40 years old. I'm
Thank you
thinking.
so much. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Well, how did you meet your current wife? Where'd you meet her at?
We met in Tucson,
Okay.
and that's where we moved from.
Right.
I
Mm,
was divorced, and her late husband had passed,
okay.
and so we got married and we moved here.
Mm, okay. So
And
how did you know she was the one though? How did you know? You just walking by and stop. Hey, wait a minute. I mean, what happened?
I just knew it.
You just knew. Okay.
I just knew that she
Yeah.
was the one.
Okay. And she's a
Because
little older than you. Are you older than her? She older than you?
she's older than me, 6 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was into that.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I did a little research on her. I believe she graduated from Freeman High School back in '73, and I believe she went to nursing school in Atlanta University as well. Did
Yes.
did she go on to use that nursing degree or anything, or what did she do with that?
Uh, Not since I've known.
Okay.
She's been in ministry the whole time I've known
Okay. All right. Yeah. You can't beat that, man.
her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know that sometimes when you get married, sometimes you have a blended family. I went through the whole blended family thing, and I think it'd be challenging for a lot of people. But what was
Mm-hmm.
your experience with having a blended family?
My experience was I treated her daughters like my own daughter
Hmm.
because I've known them since they were very young.
Okay.
And so when we got married, there were a few challenges, but especially with my oldest stepdaughter. Um, but at one point, I had to take the lead, and we had a long talk here at my house. And
Mm.
ever since then, no problem
Yeah.
whatsoever.
That's good. You
Didn't
had to
have that.
unite. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't have that issue with the oldest daughter. We
Okay.
always got along, and but the younger one, we had some challenges, and just one talk did it.
Okay. Good.
And I had to come to the fact that love conquers all,
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah.
and that's what I showed her, and that's what I thought about for me to even initiate the conversation,
Hmm.
bring that to pass. And ever since that day, we've been just fine.
That's good. You said you've been in their life since they were young. How young were they when you came into their life?
The youngest one was 8.
8.
The
Okay.
oldest was 11,
Okay.
something like that. So I've known them for a long time.
I see. Now, did you have kids too that came to
Yeah.
the union? Y'all in one house?
Oh, no, no, no. Because my children, they live in Arizona.
Okay.
And when we came, her daughters came with us.
Hmm.
So they've been in Indiana the whole time we've been here. But my
Okay.
son and daughter is in Arizona.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I was just asking about kids because I had read in the news the other day here locally in Indianapolis that there's like a curfew for kids to be, I think if you're under 15 or 16, you got to be in the house from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., with exceptions, work or religious things on that. How do you feel about that? Do you think that the young people are, uh, I know they're different than when we were younger, but what do you
Mhm.
think about the youth of today and what advice would you give parents?
Um, it's totally different than when we were growing up. Um, we didn't have to have a curfew back then.
Right.
And we would stay out, but we stayed in the neighborhood
Right.
until like when I was a teenager, I was out with my friends till 11 o'clock and something like that. And but we were right there in the neighborhood. So my mom didn't have to worry about us because we knew everybody and
Hmm.
everybody knew us.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's totally different. And I would suggest that parents would uh, keep tabs on their children
Yeah.
to know where they are at any given time
Hmm.
and to teach them what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the main thing is knowing where they are.
Yeah. I like how you said you got to teach them what's right or wrong. I think they have to lead with their words and their example as well, because I find
Yeah.
that a lot of times grandmothers are like in their late 30s, you know.
Hmm.
My grandmother was a little older, so
Right.
they get younger and younger, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes when people are younger, they tend to do things differently. So kids
Right.
are imitating that. So it's
Right.
it's not easy. So yeah, you're right. Definitely live in another time. Also wanted to ask you about traveling. You mentioned that a few places you've been. Where all have you been?
Um, I've only been out of the country once, and that was in Korea. And just going to different states. Um, I haven't been to too many. Been to California, where
Okay.
I was stationed, uh, Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as traveling, Tennessee, because my wife and I used to go there. She would preach at a church that her and her late husband started.
Okay.
And so we would go there in Knoxville
Mm.
every year.
Okay. Knoxville. Yep.
Yeah, she would preach like 5 services.
Mm.
Yeah, we would travel all the way from Arizona at that time, and she would preach and so uh, South Carolina,
Yep. Yep.
where I did boot camp in school, and so I've been a few places.
Okay. Well, where would you like to go then? You haven't been yet.
I've always wanted to go since I left Tucson while I was still there was to England.
England.
Yes, and I
Okay.
went because I love their accent.
Oh.
And back then, I told myself I want to go to England to see the Queen,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I never got that chance to go.
Oh man.
But and now she's gone. But I
Yeah.
still would like to go. That's on my bucket list
Your bucket list. Yeah. Yeah.
to
Uh,
go to London, England.
okay. I want to go to see that Eiffel Tower. I know a lot of people go see it, say it ain't all that, but I always just wanted to go too. So somewhere
Mhm.
near there. So I'm
Okay.
with you on that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Lionel, let's get into this bike ride. Now, this is what I want to talk to you about. I
Okay.
see, so I always see you out there, and I'm gonna show a clip in a minute of you and just doing your thing. How did this come about? What what happened to get you out there in the community riding this bike?
Back in 2005,
Yes.
we were living on the west side,
Mm-hmm.
um, Michigan Road and 71st Street.
Yeah, I know what that is.
So my wife and I always loved musical instruments. Always wanted to play since I was 10 years old, but I never got the chance to play because my mom could not afford the instrument.
Oh, okay.
And when I was in seventh grade, um, I didn't know that we could borrow them from the school.
Mm.
And so I missed out playing then and never got a chance to play in the band. So I always loved the instrument. So I would pick up an instrument here and there. And so we went to this pawn shop on Keystone
Okay.
and 42nd.
Yep.
And I went in there looking for an instrument that I might like and couldn't find one. But I
Okay.
saw this pretty OD green Schwinn beach cruiser.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, and it had the black foam around the handlebars, and it was in
Hmm.
very good condition. And the
Yeah.
price was $19.99, $19 and 99
Man,
cents.
that's really cheap.
Yes, and I got excited. My wife was in the car, and I went out there and I said, "Babe, I see this bike I want, and it's only $20. You think I should get it?" She said, "Yeah, go on and get it." So I
Yeah.
went in there and paid for it, got it in the car, took it to the where we were living at the time, and started riding it. And then I went to the neighborhood next to us, and the idea came to me to get on the handlebars and see
Mm.
if I can ride. And
Hmm.
because I we did it when we was young, but just
You're
playing
right.
messing around. And so
Uh-huh.
when I got on the handlebars and started riding immediately, and I said, "Wow, I like this." And I said, "Let me see if I can ride with no hands."
Oh, wow.
And I took my hands off the handlebars and I was riding with no hands. And so I
Oh.
said, this could be something. And so
Hmm.
I would go to um, the corner of 71st and Michigan Road. There was a store called Lowbill, and they got a parking lot on the side and as well as in the front. So I was riding. I got on the handlebar, started riding, and the people started looking, and I'm like, huh, this is getting attention.
Hmm. Yeah.
Say, I like this. And so that's where I got started. And
Okay.
then we moved to Moeller Road and 56th Street. So every now and then I would go there, back to
Hmm.
Low Hills and ride. But then I started riding at 38th and Georgetown Road.
Okay.
It was an old low bills there, but the parking lot was empty the whole time. And so
Hmm.
I rode there also.
Okay.
And after riding there, we moved over here. And as we were driving down Thompson Road, I saw this. It was a VA animal hospital at the time.
Uh-huh.
So I said, well, that might be a good place to ride because that intersection. I currently ride there now,
Yeah.
and so they were giving me issues about riding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like liability and all of that. And
Yeah.
so I would get frustrated. And so I started riding across the street at what's this restaurant?
Ugh. I don't. Why did they have an issue with you riding the bike though? I mean, because do other people ride the bike through there?
No. Well, they were a business at the time.
Oh, so you was riding during business hours?
Yes, I was
Oh.
riding during business hours.
Mm.
But I got smart and I said, well, they got to close at some time. So
Right.
then I started riding on the weekends.
Okay.
Then back in 2010, Channel 13 came by
Okay.
and they interviewed me and wanted to do my story. And that was exciting. And then when I was riding across the street at the other restaurant, it would come to me at some point. Uh, RTV6 came.
Mm.
And so I said, they might have an issue with you filming here. And she said, well, I'm going to go inside and ask.
Mm.
So she went inside, got there okay, did my story, and uh, and they did it pretty well because they got the whole thing with the West Side riding, and they got this map with the little man on a bike going from where I started to where
Wow.
I was over here, and so
Yeah.
that was exciting, and so that's what really got me into it, and I did it because since it was getting attention, I started loving it. and got addicted to it because sometimes I would be riding 5 hours
Ooh.
because I love the people.
Yes.
And that's one of the main reasons why I still do it. And I've been doing it ever since
Mm.
2005. So about 19 years total.
Yeah, yeah. Coming up on 20 years of doing that.
Yes.
Now, can you ride backwards down a regular street too? Do you do that or you just go in that area?
I just go at the spot. Now, I've done it in different places where I thought it was safe,
Okay.
but never did it like in traffic or nothing like that.
Okay. All right. Now, have you ever gotten hurt riding your bike?
Yes,
Uh-oh.
I got
What
hurt,
happened?
but I wasn't riding back.
Uh-oh. Explain. What happened?
I was riding forward
Oh, man.
because I twirled two sticks while I'm riding too. And so I had my sticks in my hand and I was just riding forward and
Mm,
just doing something, kicking my leg out or something to the music.
yeah.
And all of a sudden I lost my balance.
Uh-oh.
And when I tried to grab the handlebars, because I was twirling, and I just leaned to the side. I wasn't going real fast. I leaned to the side, lost my balance, and landed on my hand.
Oh, wow.
My
Mm,
shoulder popped up,
mm.
and then I sat there a minute or so, and then it popped back down by itself.
Ooh.
And I rode my bike home like that.
Mm, 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 mm.
Went the next day, didn't feel no pain, and it was in June of that year.
Okay.
In fact, it was in June of 2012. Went to church that Sunday. No,
Mm,
that Saturday. I didn't feel no pain. Went to church that Sunday, which was Father's Day, and I got prayer because I'm like something might be wrong. And the next day I went to the doctor, and he told me I needed surgery.
oh, man.
And so a couple of weeks later, in fact, June 10th of that year, I had surgery on my left shoulder.
What did you rip the rotator cuff or something? Or?
Rotator cuff, uh, spatula, uh, tendons, and he had to do like 5 small um,
Incisions there. And,
this yes,
okay. Mm,
and then I had to wear this pillow thing, and
uh-uh.
it was something, and that was
Oh,
my thank God on right hand because that was my left shoulder.
okay.
Learn how to take it off and so forth. Yeah, so I did get hurt, and I wasn't even
Mm,
riding back. Now riding backwards, I have ran into things. I have ran into trucks. I ran into cars. I ran into a motorcycle one time, but never got hurt.
how are you hitting these objects? What's going on? That means you
Forget,
must be good.
forgetting that they were there. See
Right.
them as I'm riding and forget that they're there and run into them. Not me personally, but the front tire will hit it.
This is after your fall that you start running those things?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got back on it again?
Yes, I did. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared.
What did your wife say when you said you was gonna get back out after surgery? Was she like, okay, yeah, go ahead?
Well, I also ride in the Beach Grove Parade. They
Oh,
have a
really?
fall festival every year. And so
Yeah.
they asked me to ride in their parade. And I had surgery in June, September. They had their parade. My wife and I and a friend went, and I wanted to ride in that parade so
I know
bad.
you did. Yeah.
I just had to stand there and watch. I say, should I go get my bike? She said, no, you ain't getting on that bike. And so I listened to my wife and I didn't ride.
That's good. I'm glad you listened to her. But But I'm
Yeah.
glad you also got back on it too, because sometimes you got to conquer that fear. Because if you wait too long, you might never
Right.
get back out there.
Right.
Yeah. So now you said you was twirling sticks too while
Yeah.
you're riding.
Yeah.
How? What kind of sticks are you twirling, and where'd you get them at?
Well, I started off with a broomstick handle.
Hmm.
And I cut it um, to a point where I could just twirl it because I already knew how to twirl a bit. And
Okay.
so I started off using that. And then the idea came to me to go to like a hardware store
Hmm.
and get them the same size, same length, and try two of them. Now, the one was cool, but when I tried two, it was a little difficult. But
Mm.
over the years, since I've been doing it, it's no issue.
Okay.
And plus, I listen to gospel music as I'm riding.
Oh, okay. Got your little Bluetooth on doing your thing.
Yeah, so I'm twirling with the beat of the songs that I listen to.
I see. I see. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
word on the street is you also can juggle while you're riding too.
Yes, I can. I have three tennis balls, and
Man.
I have them. My handlebars adjusted to where when I'm sitting on the handlebars, they're like right here, and
Hmm.
I just take them out of the canister, put the canister on my handlebar, and start juggling, and then I would take it off the canister off the handlebar, and as I'm riding backwards, I throw one ball up and catch it. Then
Mm.
I throw the second one up and catch it. Then I throw the third one up and catch it, and then put the top back on.
Man, that's some talent right there. Man, I
Thank,
can't walk and chew gum. You just killing the game.
thank you.
Wow.
Yes.
So okay. So now with all those talents is more. You also ride a unicycle. You two wheels wasn't enough. You had to go down to the unicycle. Wait a minute. Do you still have the Schwinn though? You still got that one? Is that the same one you ride, or you got a different bike?
I got a different bike now.
What happened to the Schwinn?
It oh, it's been such a long time ago.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So
Mm,
I got rid of it.
okay. Wow. Kicked him to the one that started with you. Kicked him to the curb. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got your money worth out of it.
Yes,
So
I
so
did.
so tell me about the unicycle. I see these people riding those things all the time. That's just like a one-wheel motorized vehicle.
Yes.
How did you start that?
As I was riding, where I ride it now, this young man stopped by because he had seen me ride. And so when he stopped by, he went in his trunk and he pulled out an 18-inch. It's called the S18.
S18?
Yes. And he,
Okay.
because I have now an 18XL.
Okay.
And so he took it out, he got on it, and he zoomed across the parking lot where I ride.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, he just leaned forward and he was gone. And I took interest in it. I said, I would like to do that. And so when he came to me, he said, "You want to try it?" I said, "Nah, man, I don't want to
Oh,
try that thing."
oh heck
I was
no.
so scared. And so then I changed my mind and I got on his and I held on to his shoulder, of course.
Okay.
And he walked with me going very slow.
Mm-hmm.
So I can try to, he thought, well, if you can do that on a bicycle and have that kind of balance, you might be
Yeah.
able to do this. And so as he worked with me, I started liking it.
Mm-hmm.
Then he would come back and let me practice. And the last time um, I practiced for 2 hours
Okay.
and I was doing it by myself.
Mm.
As I would practice, he would walk with me, then I
Yes.
push it back and go.
Mm.
I couldn't turn or nothing.
How
And that,
fast does that thing go?
I have two.
Oh, wow.
The
Two.
one, the first one that I had got, my fans paid for it.
Wow, that's
Since I,
nice.
since I learned on his, he did a GoFundMe for me, and the
Uh-huh.
community pitched in and got my first one, the smaller one.
So GoFundMe's really work. You the first person I know who actually got money from a Go. So they just gave you the money, and those are expensive.
Yes, that one, my first one cost it because it was brand new, $1,300.
Nice piece of change right there.
Yeah, and the community pitched in and got it for
Man,
me. And so I rode it about a year and a half. I put 1,500 miles
on one wheel.
on one wheel.
Now, you didn't fall off that one, did you?
Uh, at first, I did.
Oh man.
My little one, yes. I felt I didn't hurt myself or nothing like that. And as I was learning, I was wearing helmet,
Oh, you had your own stuff. Okay, yeah.
had on my gear.
Okay, that's
But
good.
as I got used to it, I stopped wearing it
Okay.
because I didn't think it was cool where I ride to be having on the helmet and all this gear. And so like I don't do it with my bike. And so I didn't need it. And so I rode it about a year and a half. It kept getting flat tires.
Oh,
And so I said, nah, I need a bigger wheel.
okay.
And so I called the guy that introduced me to it riding
Mhm.
um, and said, you know anybody that got a bigger wheel? And he said, yes, I do. So I went to the guy's house and got on it and started riding it and liked it.
Hmm.
And I bought it from him.
There you
And that's
go.
my second wheel. It's the 18XL because the little one is only 16 inches.
16
It's a
inches wide. That's
16-inch wheel.
okay.
Like a child's bike is
Oh, okay.
16, 20 inch, and my bike is a 26 inch. And so
Okay.
now I have an 18 inch.
Okay.
And so it's much bigger and the pedals are higher off the ground.
Okay.
Yes, and so I've been riding it a year this month.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing, man. I saw you out there. I said, wow, you seem like you're so comfortable and relaxed, and it's got to be freeing at the same time and seeing
Yeah.
people see you. So,
It's
man,
very addictive.
do you recommend that for other people today? Ride their bikes backwards and unicycle?
Yes, I would.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes. Now, I haven't seen hardly anybody ride a bike backwards since I've been doing it
Mm-hmm.
all these years.
Yeah.
And I went to a neighborhood where I live and was doing it. And some kids saw me
Uh-huh.
and they said, can I try? I said, yeah, you can try. They tried, but they couldn't do
Yeah. I
it.
think
And
it's probably fear, isn't it? Probably fear a lot of.
yes, it's fear. Now, I've had people get on my wheel and try it, but it's not as easy as it looks.
No. It's like almost doing opposite of everything you instead of going left, you go right. Instead of going up, you go down.
Yeah,
That's
now it's self-balancing
oh
as long
really?
as you straight up and down.
So how do you get it to go forward or backwards?
Um, you lean forward, it goes forward.
Just a little lean. You get a little
Literally.
lean your
Yeah.
body or just with your feet. I guess that's more with your
Yeah. Your feet has something to do with it. It's almost like an accelerator
okay.
with the ball of your feet
Yeah.
and the heel of your feet will stop it. So I
Hmm.
lean forward to go forward and lean back to stop or
Okay.
slow down.
Yeah.
And it's very addictive.
I don't know, that sounds scary to me, but you tell me this, what question do people ask you most about when you're riding that?
When
Did
I'm
they,
riding
did,
the
yeah,
unicycle,
yeah. What's the most common questions you get asked?
um, is it hard?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say yes, at first it is.
Right. Yeah.
But like with anything else, it takes practice.
Right. Good point.
My first unicycle, the little one, I would ride with my hands out like this, just
Yeah.
straight out, trying to keep my balance because you got to deal with the center of gravity too.
Yes.
Because you're on one wheel, you got to stay on top of the
Mm.
wheel.
Yeah.
If you lean to the side, then you're going to come off of it.
Okay.
You lean to the right or the left, that, that's not the balancing part.
Yeah. Just give me.
The
Yep.
balancing part is straight up and down.
I see. Okay. So, wow. Let me see if I can show this clip of us you doing this right quick. Tell me what you think about this. Let's go.
All right.
How did I start? I bought a bicycle back in 2005, and the idea came to me to see if I can ride backwards. And so I got on the handlebars and started riding, to my surprise, and I just kept riding and adding things to it. What makes me do it, the joy that it brings to people, the smiles that come to their faces when they see me riding. They can be having a bad day and they see me riding and they cheer up and it brings a smile to their face. And that's basically why I do it, to spread God's love.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Never
That's definitely impressive right there. So, man,
Thank
I mean, I can see everybody looks at you and they just looking like, wow, who's that there? So, and they come up and talk to you too, I take it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, cool.
Sometimes
Well,
they'll give me a tip or something, you know. You take tips? Like, yes. The last time someone gave me some money, it was $100. And that's the most I've ever got from one person.
I'm getting a unicycle tomorrow. I'm gonna try that thing. Give me $100 tip.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move to the second part of the show right quick, just called rapid fire. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You just tell me your honest answer, and we'll
Okay.
go for that, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay,
But I want
no.
to remind everybody that you're currently listening to What's Up with Ward TV. And again, my name is Wardy Ward. Okay, Mr. Hill, first question. I understand you're a student of the Bible as well. What drew
Yeah.
you down the road to want to become a person of religion?
Say that again?
I understand you're a Bible student. I want to
Yes.
know what drew you down that road to say, I want to, follow religion. A lot of people are kind of falling away from religion nowadays. What drew you to it?
Um, what drew me to it, I was brought up in church.
Hmm.
When I left home to join the military, you know, being a teenager, you want to see the world, you want to do this, you want to do that. Uh, and I met this young man. They were um, MPs, military police.
Okay, yeah.
And so they went to this church and they invited me. And the man said, you know, you could be saved by saying a simple prayer. I'm like, hmm. And then we went around the building. He prayed. And after that, the music I was listening to, I threw it all in the trash. And so
Mm.
my life was changed and it felt so good. And then this another young man, he was a lifeguard at the
Hmm.
pool there on the post. And so he introduced me to the Lord also.
Okay.
And then I started going to their church, and that's how I got introduced to the Lord.
Okay.
And um, as far as teaching is concerned, who I've been teaching, I would say since 2001.
Okay.
Yes, and I've been a student of the Bible. I love the Word of God. I love the Lord,
Hmm.
and um, and just started reading the word, trying to memorize it. In fact, that's what I'm doing now, trying to memorize some books or chapters.
Yes.
And as far as teaching is concerned, I teach every Wednesday night on Zoom and Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And it's on my page, Lionel Hills. All of my teachings are there. And I love doing it. And that's what I do.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think that people need to know about religion? What's something you want them to know? If you could tell them, what is it you think they need to, or how can they benefit from it?
Well, first of all, as human beings, we need the Lord because there's so much going on in this world. And then on top of that, all we see is not all there is to see.
Okay.
All the problems that's happening in this world and in people's individual lives, the sicknesses, all the diseases, is that we have an invisible enemy.
Oh my God, yes, you're right.
That a lot of people don't have the knowledge of knowing. They don't know that there is not, what we see is not all there is to see.
That's true.
We are being harassed on a daily basis by the invisible enemies. And so the Lord said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Man.
And that people are forever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. So the truth is that we have an invisible spiritual enemy.
Right.
And that we are in a spiritual battle every single day.
Spiritual warfare. Yeah, it is.
Spiritual warfare. And we can't, the battle is not ours.
And you know, a lot of people don't realize that they'll hate somebody because of their skin color or somebody's different than them, not even knowing why they feel that way.
Right, right.
Because I find a lot of people don't really just take time to read the Bible. You're so distracted. You know, you got life, you got kids, you got work, you got just everything is a distraction, keeps you away from it, you know?
That's right. That's right.
Why do you think there's so many different religions, and do you think all religions are all heading to the same thing? Can you just pick any religion and just roll with it?
The thing about religion is that's exactly what it is. It's religion. But what I've learned, and I learned it from a very distinguished young man by the name of Dr. Miles Monroe.
Yes.
I went to the bookstore years ago and I saw one of his books entitled The Most Important Person on Earth. And when I saw who it was, I bought 5 of those books. And I still got my original copy, and I gave 4 to others. The most important person on earth is the Spirit of God. And I read that book, and Jesus's enemies were religious leaders.
Pharisees, Sadducees, all of them.
Because they couldn't understand his message.
Right.
Because Jesus came as king, as Messiah. But they were looking for him to come a different way, to deliver them from the Romans. But he came as a humble servant.
Yeah.
And the messages he taught were parables.
Yeah.
And parables have 2 parts to it. Spiritual part and the natural part.
Yes.
And they understood the natural part, but the spiritual part was hidden from them.
That's right. Wasn't for them.
That's right.
For those meek people, you know, people
who were humble, yes, because he said they have eyes, they see not. They have ears, they hear not. Neither do they understand.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So different religions claim about, because I believe in what I've learned is that man is searching for something.
Right.
And to search for something, you have to have lost it
Mm,
in the
like
first
that.
place.
Right.
And to learn about where we came from, why we're here. And I ask my students, I say, when you read a book, do you start at the beginning, the middle, or the end?
I like that. Simple but effective.
Yes. So you will go to the beginning.
Always.
So it's the same way with the word of God. We have
Yeah.
to go back to the beginning. What did Adam and Eve lose?
They lost their life.
That's right. And they lost the kingdom.
Right. Yeah.
Because God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion
Yep.
over the earth.
Yep. Flying creatures and all of it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so when they sinned against God, they lost the kingdom.
Mm.
And the God of this world now is Satan.
1 John 5:19.
Because who tempted them? The serpent.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it was the devil in the form of a serpent. And so
You know, a lot of
they
people
go,
don't get that part. They don't even understand that. Because like you said, you got to read it.
that's right.
Well, first of all, you want to pray before you
Pray.
read it and then read it. And I think that's where a lot of people are going lost. Because it bothers me, but I accept it. But it bothers me when people say, I don't believe God's real. This and that. I'm like, man, you just look out the window and see his creation, you know?
That's
But
right.
I
That's
understand everybody different. Everybody different.
right. So that's why so many religions came about,
Yes.
because all of us are seeking for the same thing, and that's
Hmm.
what we lost. In the beginning was the kingdom, but Jesus came back to reclaim that kingdom and give it back to its original owners, which is us.
Hmm.
And so that's what the people are searching for, is the kingdom of God,
Okay.
because the kingdom of God is an invisible kingdom.
Mm.
But
Okay.
to have a kingdom, you got to also have a king.
That's right. I like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying here. I know I'm not even gonna get deep on it because I know you about to go and get it. I'm to keep going my questions. We could talk about this all day. Let me
All
ask my
right.
question before we come back on that one then.
Okay.
Um, uh, if you could speak to yourself 20 or 30 years, you go back and say, I want to talk about 30-year from now self. Okay, go back and talk to your 20-year-old self. What advice would you give a young 20-year-old Lionel?
Young 20-year-old Lionel,
And what would you tell him?
I would tell him to um, not follow the crowd,
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, seek wisdom from
Ooh,
older people,
yeah, yeah.
be around them and listen to them and take their advice and heed their advice and not try to do things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Get in church and stay in church, because that's the best place to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Draw
to,
close
and
to God.
to I would tell myself, learn about God,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because I would go to church but never understood why I went
Mm.
until later in life
Okay.
and getting into trouble and all of that stuff and watching God bring me out of it.
Okay.
So I would tell my younger self, um, get to know God.
Okay. Good advice. Do you think you would have listened? Would you have listened to yourself?
No,
that's
it's like,
that's candor right there.
yeah, I
Yeah.
had too much I wanted to do.
Okay. I like you, man. You're honest. I like that. What's your favorite sport, and do you play any sports at this time?
My favorite sport now is table tennis.
Table tennis. Okay, so you the dude that's going around beating everybody.
Uh, where I have a buddy that I play weekly, twice a week, and we've been playing for about 8 or 9 years now.
Hmm.
And so we know each other.
Okay.
and he talks a lot of trash.
Okay.
So that what makes it much more fun. It's like, and we're very competitive with each other.
Yeah.
And so that's my favorite sport now. As far as football and stuff like that, I might watch the Super Bowl and that's about it.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite sport now is
Okay.
table tennis.
Yeah, I think Bruce Lee used to play ping pong too.
I saw a video of him playing ping pong with his nunchucks.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I said, is that real? I said, okay, yeah.
That's pretty
All right.
awesome.
What's one of your favorite movies of all time?
My favorite movie of all time. Uh,
I can tell you a couple of mine. What you think? I enjoyed Coolie High, Car Wash, and Let's Do It Again. Those are some of my favorites.
oh, okay. I like Total Recall
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
with Arnold
Arnold.
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
Yeah, with Arnold, and I like this Once Upon a Time, I think.
Hmm. I don't know that one.
Oprah is in it.
Oh wow. Dang, I don't know that one. I'm gonna check it out. You is it good? You think it's good?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the special effects in it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna write that down. Make sure I check that one out. Next question. What's the cheapest gas you remember in your life? How cheap was it?
Uh, $1.89,
Okay. All right. It's not
and
bad.
that was here.
Man, yeah. Well, I guess where you came from, it was probably always higher out west.
Yes, yes, it was a
Okay.
dollar 89 about 20 years ago.
Okay. All right. Cool. Last question in this round. If you had to give up one of your senses, which would it be? Touch, sight, hearing, smell, or taste? You had to give up one of them. Which one would you let go? Touch, sight, hearing, smell, or taste?
Um, Probably smell.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably one I can do too. Because you can
Yeah.
do a whole bunch of new jobs, you get rid of that.
Uh-huh.
But I do admit I like smelling a good steak cooking or some food or after rain. But that thing you're right. That's probably the easiest one to give up. So yeah.
Right, right.
Okay. All right, Lionel, man. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure to talk to you today. Spend this time with you, hearing how you impact the community while riding your bike and your positive words and sharing with people and your study of the word. Can you let me know if there's anything you want to clear up or say before we end this thing? Anything you want to add or change?
I have nothing to add. I have nothing to change. It's been a great honor to be with you this
Yeah,
evening. And thanks for inviting me.
yeah,
Thank you for taking interest in what I do. And thank you for stopping by with your wife that day
yeah.
to give me your card and invite me. It's been a great pleasure.
I truly enjoyed talking to you. Now, can you tell people where they can find you at on social media if somebody wants to follow up or got a question or just want to hear what you got to say?
Uh, I'm not on Instagram or Twitter or nothing like that. I'm only on Facebook under Lionel Hills, LionelHills. And my profile picture is a little what's it called?
Like a Lego?
Lego
Yeah,
person
yes.
sitting on a bike backwards with two
Mm,
sticks. And the bigger picture is me sitting on my bike backwards with my sticks in my hand.
okay. All right, cool. I'm seeing if I can put a link on that for people to find you as that as well.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and give my final thoughts before we get out of here, okay?
Okay.
My final thoughts today are simple, and they're from the man called Bernie Mac. I chose these words because Bernie Mac was a person who seemed to have been known for speaking truth, and I really like what he said. And when you think about it, the love of mankind in this world is rapidly cooling off. Like you can just watch the news or drive down the street and see it's not the same as it was 10, 15 years ago. So again, notice what Bernie Mac said. He said, and I quote, he said, "You don't have to respect me, but you don't have to disrespect me." Let that sink in for a minute. I implore everybody to use the golden rule and treat others how you would like to be treated. So until next time, thank you guys for listening to What's Up Ward TV. Remember, hit that like, subscribe, comment, and follow button so you can hear more interviews like this. And thank you, Lionel, for being on the show. Peace.
Thank you for inviting.